Hey! Hi, Laura! Welcome to my stream. Just setting up just really quickly. Give me a little second here. Okay. Oh, whoops. Wrong app. Not what I wanted to open. Okay. Just going to... on. I'll mute myself. There you go. Just setting up. Shouldn't be long. Hey! Welcome back, Vespa! Really liking how your Atropa is coming along. It's looking really cool so far. Okay. One more long, just setting up. I'm having some issues with CSB for some reason, but I did manage to fix the issue that I had on Monday where I couldn't see the chat directly on OBS. Turns out it was my fault because I forgot to like log out and then log back in after I changed my username on Twitch. So, but okay, yeah, take your time. Okay. So, before we get started, so on Monday I was working on my, on rigging my VTuber model. And, I got pretty far along. Let's see. I'll show you in just a second. For some reason, my display capture doesn't want to work. Give me a second. Display capture. Display capture. Yep. Okay. So, here's the model, and all I have right now is like head movements and basic eye movements, but she is moving, and I'm super proud of myself. And Saya's live 2D tutorials really helping a lot, so yeah, she's moving. Oh man, I'm so happy. So I do have to make it look a bit more 3D, but I'll get there. Thank you. Yeah, and I also tried it on live 2D. And actually, I can show you what it's looking like. I can show you what it's looking like in like 2D. So, also I'll explain what I mean by the character flies off randomly in just a second. Okay. So, just needed to update. Also, if it crashes, It's just because right now it's in beta for the MacBook Pro, for macOS. So, and it's the only Live 2D app I can use right now on the Mac. So I gotta use VTube Studio. I mean, it's good. It's just it tends to close on its own. So it's kind of annoying like that. So I'll just give it a second. Keeps doing it. It tries to turn on, and then it doesn't. So give it a second. Like eventually, I do want to. I do want to get it like better. Like my computer's good. It's just I want to get something a bit better for live streaming. So, but that's what I got so far. Just so I don't assault your eyes with green, I'll just get in some color key in, and there you go. Okay. So okay, it's asking a lot of hang on. Second. Okay. Ah, come on. Okay, hang on. Give me a second. That's because it's in full screen, so. Okay. So, because I want to show what it's like. It's just the problem is it's in full screen, and I think it's not liking the resolution on my tablet, so so I'm not able to press anything. So just give me a second, and I'll get it to work. Okay. So I don't want it to be in full screen. Just gonna cite this here. Okay. So okay. Just gonna make sure it's calibrated. Hang on. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay. Okay. Ah, there you go. Okay. Hey, look at that. She's moving. So, yeah. So the only issue though is I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna, well, until I can get proper webcam. Well, I have a webcam on my MacBook, but because of how it's set up, if I move away, my model might fly all over the place. I mean, it's a bit jank, but you know. But yeah. Basically, that's what she's looking like. She can move, sort of. It's not exact, but you know, I'll be using a webcam. It's just right now, the only part that's rigged are like the parts you see that move. So, well, I'll be using a bit of the mouth, but I think I'll be using the microphone. I'm not sure yet. But I don't know. But I might be using the I might be using the microphone. So, I'll turn that off. And now I'm gonna cut the app because it's taking a bit of CPU since I have a bunch of stuff open. But yeah. So I'm not quite done yet. So, but I'll get there. But yeah. Not sure what happened with her eye. Okay. Okay, it's probably because, the eye was a bit too raised, but, you know, okay. So, yeah, so it's coming along, which is good. That's what I want, that, you know, it comes along. But, yeah. Just gonna, alright, fix up my chair. It's being annoying again, so. Yeah! Yeah, I'm so happy. It's coming along so nicely. Aw, man. Okay. But, yeah. Like, just gonna change the color of the background. Again, I don't want to burn people's eyes. But it's okay. But you take the time you need. And it's all that matters. Like, it's okay if you're not quite there yet. Like, you'll get there. At your own rhythm. So, like, it took me a while to be comfortable with, like, I mean, it's like, it took me a while to, like, learn to be comfortable enough with sharing my art. So, you know, like, it's like it takes the time it takes. That's all that matters. Some people get there faster, some people get there not as, like, more slowly, and, you know what, that's totally fine. It's like what matters is that at least you try, so, and, you know, you have fun while doing your thing, so. There, okay. Color theory font time. Oops, one layer. Okay. So, yeah, I figured, I needed some practice with, color theory. So, I figured, might as well practice it while, you know, while streaming, so, you know, it can help people. So, just gonna align it with this. Should be fine. Now we can make the wheel. It's a bit janky. Okay, so color theory. Just have to make sure I have my colors in the right. Okay. Alright, so color theory. You got our primary colors. Okay, so quick little thing about primary colors is that it really depends. If you're in RGB, it's red, blue, and green. And if it's YMK, well, it's cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. But like when you're painting, the main colors are red, blue, and then yellow. So right. So that's the main colors. It's red, blue, and yellow. But that's when you're painting. That's like basic colors. Very controversial what the actual primary colors are in the art world, but it's like there's no wrong or right. It just depends on what you do. Like one of them is additive, so like red, blue, and green for RGB. It's additive, but that's how LEDs work. So let's say you have, let's say you have blue, okay? So basically for like, so that's just color, like this one is just, oh, okay, hang on. That's because I forgot to remove the, okay. Yes. Okay, so, I'm sorry about that. It was yellow for, it was gray for a bit because I removed the green. So to remove the green background from VTube Studio, I had a chroma key filter, and I forgot to remove it. And see, additive. So, hey, welcome, Nick Stark. How you doing? We're working on color theory today. So, yeah. So color theory. When you're painting, the primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. But let's say you're doing RGB. Like for example, it's additive. Well, I don't remember which one is additive. CYMK or RGB. But like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Had a nice day, did some chores. I managed to do some shrines in Breath of the Wild. So that was cool. It's fun. So like for example, RGB, well you have blue, and I'll just, okay, that's my notepad. Okay. So I'm just gonna slide this there. Okay. So okay, so you see how I have a little wheel? It's a bit small, but actually it's gonna be better if I do this like that. Okay, so I have my little, okay, so I have this panel here, and like okay, so RGB, you have your blue. So for that, you'll have to remove your green, your red, and okay, yeah, okay, I see. Thank you, Vespo. Yeah, cause I pretty much know how it works. It's just sometimes I'll forget some terms, so it's not gonna be exact, but so like for example, in computers, TVs, for the most part, they have little LEDs and LEDs, and yeah, I think it's the opposite for C1 and T. I'm not sure which is which, but I'll have to check in a few minutes. But yeah, so basically, computers, phones, like most stuff with screens will work with blue, red, and green. And then we'll be adding like a bit of each to make different colors. And our eyes work exactly that way with our cones and rods. So we have, but I think I don't remember if our eyes are like red, blue, and yellow, or red, blue, and green. But I think it's red, blue, and yellow for our eyes. But don't quote me on this. I'll have to double check in a bit again. But basically for RGB, it's red, green, and blue. And then if you add all of them, well, okay, if you had all of them, it's going to turn to white. Yeah, eyes. So our eyes actually have cones and rods, and that's how, like, we have 3 rods. And let me check. So eye, cones, and rods. Okay. So basically in our eyes we have cones and rods, and that's what actually detects the light. So rods and cones are photoreceptors, and they're basically they're connected to the nerve. Like basically they're like nerves. They send signals to our brain, and that's what allows us to see colors. And different animals will have different number of rods and cones, but in our case we have I think we have 3. Okay, so like in our case, we can see in 3 colors, I think. So we have, so rods work at very low levels of light, and that's what we use at night. So when we see at night, there's no light, or just a tiny little bit, we won't be seeing like different colors, and like we'll be seeing in grayscale, because like light itself is white, but okay, it's better. Okay, it's easier to show an example. So okay, so let's say you have the sun, okay, and it's going to hit the atmosphere, and the sky will only reflect blue because that's what it absorbs with the air molecules and everything. So the only thing we'll see as a color from the sky is blue. And like, you know, once the sun sets and moon is up, since there's not as much light, that's why we see stars. Well, when it's, you know, not cloudy. Like, leaves will, you know, absorb, I think it's that they absorb every other colors, and then, you know, green is the color that shows up. Apples, it's like after a certain point when they're ripe, are gonna turn red, because that's the color, you know, think they reflect. So, just example. And that's the same thing. It's gonna work the same way, where it's like, okay, I know my explanations are probably not that clear, but like, light will reflect on things, objects will absorb light, and that's the same thing for our eyes. So the rods work at a low light, so there's not that much color that's going to be, you know, set our way, because, you know, the light, there's not much light, so we don't see much color. So that's why we see in gray and white. And okay, so we have 3 types of cones. We have blue, green, and red. So yeah, well, I knew about that because, like, we kind of learn about it in school, like both in art and science. So, unlike I part more in science, and also because I'm a bit of a nerd. So, but yeah. So our cones require a little more light and are used to see colors. So, so basically, yeah. True. Good point. We're all nerds. I totally agree with that. But yeah, so basically, the LEDs in the screens, like your computer, your phone, my pen display tablet, my computer, they're all red, blue, and green. So basically, if you want just red, it's like, for example, it absorbs everything but red. So the only color you see is red. Or if you want something green, absorb everything, and then it's green. So, and all colors combined is white. And if you remove all of the colors, it's black. So, black is the absence of color, of light. Like white is just that it's all the colors together, because like colors are actually wavelengths. So like the more it's towards red, it's more like infrared, and then towards purple, it's ultraviolet. So colors are wavelengths. So like some wavelengths are gonna be a bit like, you're gonna go like yeah. So some wavelengths are more close up together, and then they're gonna give a certain color, while some are more like undulated, which is kind of like sound, really. It's all wavelengths. So, and these wavelengths, because they're all different, they're gonna hit our cones differently, so it's gonna give different colors. And it's the same thing if you absorb light. Some things will absorb like certain wavelengths, and then other wavelengths are just gonna be like, yee, just, you know, they go free, they do their thing, you know? So, and that's basically the colors we see. So, red, green, and blue are, you know, the primary colors of light. So it's it. So yeah, it is additive, because if you add them together, it's all white. Or if, you know, you add green and blue, it's like, I don't know, turquoise, or cyan, yellow, magenta. So that's when we get into CYMK. Like this. So cyan, magenta. And then if you just have black, and did I do it right? Now you have cyan there. Magenta, yellow, and black. In this case, okay, so if you remove down, okay, it's not exactly black for the CYMK, but it's almost there, see? So, yeah, okay, so red, green, and blue are additive, and it gives you white once you get them all, and then CYMK, if you remove everything, you get white. If you put everything, you get black. Aha! Which brings me to my other point. Okay, so now this goes into more graphic design, but like more printing. When you print, super important, you put it inside CYMK. Okay? Because you have to be, yeah, science! Science! So, okay. So, if you're gonna be printing in black, you have to be careful to tell your printer to print in actual black. Because if you're just printing in like RGB, it's going to mix all the colors together, or something. If you're printing CYMK but you're not careful, it's gonna use up all of your colors to print in black. So you tell it to print in actual like black. I don't remember the exact terms, but if you tell it to actually use the black ink, then it's gonna print in like black, but it's not gonna be like a pure black. It's more gonna be like grayish black, but not like, because if it's pure black, it's because I think it's when it's pure black that because it used up all the other inks, or the other way around. But CYMK is often also used for printing because of you know, it's a bit closer to like the actual colors in real life. So if you're going to be printing something, right from the get-go, you make sure it's in the CYMK profile. So since most of the stuff I make is all going to stay on the computer, it's like if I post it, it's like if I share it, it stays on the internet. Or like RGB is the color profile I'll be using. If I'm going to be printing something, or I'm planning in the somewhere off in the future to print it, then I have to make sure it's in CYMK, so the colors actually true to what I intended once they're printed. So it's a very important distinction. So, and then you also have this color slider. That's just the saturation value, and the use saturation and value. So I think you have this different hues. You have your saturation and then value, but that's not important to probably, well, it kind of is, but you know, but basically, yeah. So that's basics of color theory. But now, when you're talking about painting, whether it be with, you know, actual paints, or mixing pigments together, painting, both on paper, like in canvas, or I don't know, a wall or a rock or on someone, you know. Just gonna move these to another layer. So when you're painting, things are a bit different with color theory. So, basically for primary colors, it's more like, I mean, you can kind of make that by mixing other colors, but you have to know your color theory like really well to be able to like break them. But that's because red, blue, and yellow thing is because it's kind of the purest pigments, I guess. Because it's the ones that can't really create them. So, but you can mix them and create other colors. But there are ways to mix colors to like kind of create the color. Like the primary colors, it's just a bit harder, but so basically, alright, you got so you got red, you got your yellow, and you have your blue. So now let's say secondary colors. Now let's say one secondary color can be you know, green, because you mix blue and yellow together. So I'm gonna mix an yellow. Okay, it's just because my settings are too weird. Okay. Okay, so like for example, you're gonna have your yellow that you're gonna mix with your blue. That's not really doing it for some reason. So it's going to give you like, it's going to give you green. So your secondary color would be green. Same thing if you mix yellow and orange, it's going to give you yellow and red, it's going to give you orange. And then if you mix blue and red, it's going to give you purple, like this. So in this case it'd be a bit more yeah, okay. Here we go. Okay. So secondary colors. Now, Tertiary colors are basically like for example, tertiary color could be, you know, you mix a bit of red with the purple, or you mix a bit of the blue with the purple, like that. Same thing, you can mix blue with the green, that. Yeah, you can mix yellow with green, this, yellow with a, you know, a bit of orange, and then finally, you know, you mix red with orange. And that's your tertiary colors. Like this. Okay. Oops. Not what I wanted to do. So basically red, green, and red, yellow, and blue are your primaries. And then you got purple, orange, and green that are your secondaries. And tertiaries are just like, you know, a bit of every colors. Now, color schemes. Okay. Okay, that's good. I'm not going too fast. Good, perfect. Okay, now, for color schemes. Alright, so you have 6 color schemes. You have Monochromatic, Analogous, Complementary, Triadic, Split Complementary, and Tetradic. So, for example... Okay. So, for example... Like, yeah, okay, so one easy monochromatic color scheme is, you know, black to maybe gray to white. You know, it's monochromatic. Like, for example, it could be just big, bright, fire engine, red. And then you get a bit deeper, and a bit deeper, and even a bit deeper. So, then you can go, you know, a bit higher, and play with the value. This. See? Monochromatic because it stays in around the same. So it stays on the same hue, which, like for example, could be this. This is the same hue, and then you can go up or down in value. You can also go up and down in saturation. Which saturation could be the amount of pigment too. And then analogous. So monochromatic is basically it's just different colors, but like in the same like range of colors. So basically like different values, basically. Because also another thing that's really important in art is contrast. Well, okay, contrast for like everything could be just colors. If you want to have like an interesting color palette, you could go with monochromatic, but you play around with the different contrasts. For example, or if you want to make sure that something is easily like readable. Sorry, if something is readable, you play around with the contrast. Like I could probably try to have a better contrast between the word chat and the background, so it's easier to read. will do it eventually, but you know. So second color scheme is analogous. So analogous basically is just two colors that are next to each other in the color wheel. So for example, you could have like a kind of yellow orange, and then you can have like an actual yellow, or you can have pink-ish, like magenta, and red. See? And like blue, and then blue like that. Like blue that's going towards a bit more of it. Like, not quite, but kind of towards the green. See? Like, all different, but not so, like, but they're similar at the same time. So, that's analogous. Yeah, so that's analogous. So, complementary. Basically, complementary are colors that are, from opposite sides of the color wheel. So, for example, the most well-known color complementary color scheme is red and green. But because I didn't want to, I wanted to play with the contrast, it doesn't burn your eyes too much. I just brought down the value of the green so it's a bit darker than the red. That's contrast. Again, super important when you're playing with colors, because you can't just have like complementary colors together. They're gonna clash if they're on the same value. So you want to have one that's, a bit higher on the value scale than like the other one, contrast. So it doesn't burn your eyes. I mean, if you want to burn people's eyes, you want to burn people's corneas, that's totally fine by me. You do you. I'm not the one putting their eye doctor bills, so you do you. But then triadic. Triadic is like complementary, but it's like you have colors like basically red, blue, and yellow are triadic, which is why they go with together like this. Or like I could go orange, like actually better idea. So basically, if you're putting those secondary colors together, that could work too. So like you got your orange, you got your green, and you got your purple. Like this. Like, see? It's not too bad together. See? Yeah. Like, again, you'd be playing around with values so you don't burn people's eyeballs. They're important. It's not fun to have burnt eyeballs, I guess. But, no. Okay. So, now, split complementary. So, anti-complementary, where you have two different hues from opposite sides of the color wheel. But this time you have 4 color hues from the opposite ends of the color wheel. So let's say I have a blue, and then I have purple with yellow and orange, like that. See? Because purple is complementary to yellow, while blue is complementary to orange, because they're on opposite sides of the wheel, like this. See? And then you have Tetradic. So it's like, basically it's kind of like Triadic, but now we have 4 different colors. So basically, you'd have red. No, that's the wrong colors, Atropa. What are you doing? So basically, you'd have red. You can have yellow, and then because the complementary of red is green, you put it there. A complementary of yellow is purple. See? They go together. Of course, I'm not playing around with values, so they kind of look jank right now, but you know, so yeah. So basically, it's like Triadic. It's complementary, but with extra steps, basically. So. Ooh, that sounds cool. But yeah, so basically, Triadic forms a triangle on the color wheel. Meanwhile, Tetradic is like 4. It forms a square or rectangle on the color wheel. Meanwhile, complementary and split complementary are 2 and then 4 colors on the opposite sides of each other. So. Oh, you found a really cool color theory chart. I'll be pulling that out in just a second. Color wheel. I was looking at that one. And then that one. Oh, that's cool. Yellow and purple. Okay. So this image is from Photony Latent. Because of course I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. So I'm gonna post. Hopefully let me post it. Okay, give me a second. Give me a little second. Alright. Okay. Oh, Tony. How can I spell it again? So, color theory, Photony Latent. you go. Okay, so here's the original image. So like, for example, we have this chart here. So like, you have your primary colors. Like I was explaining, you have yellow, red, and blue. So true pigments. True pigment colors that cannot be mixed or formed by any combination of other colors. All other colors are derived from these three hues. So the colors themselves are hues. And then you have secondary colors. So you have orange, green, and purple. Oh, violet, really. So these are the colors formed by mixing two primary colors. And then you have your tertiary colors. These are the colors formed by mixing a primary and a secondary color. That's why the color is a two-worded name, such as blue-green, red-violet, and yellow-orange. So, as you can see there. So like, you had a bit of red into violet, and then you get red-violet. So, and then you have your color scheme, like Analogous, which is like analogous colors sit next to one another on the color wheel. These colors are in harmony with one another. So, like you have, blue with blue-violet, because they're next to each other, so, look nice with each other, and it's not so important that you have contrast with them. Well, it depends. It's so important if you want something to be like, you want emphasis brought into like a subject onto a certain color. And then you have white, black, and gray that are considered to be neutral. Complementary colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel, are considered to be complementary colors. Example, red and green. When put together, they appear more vivid than when apart. So it just makes them a bit brighter, And you can play around with the shade and the tone as well, and the tint and the value. So you have your Triadic color scheme, you have your split complementary, rectangle, tetradic, square color scheme, which is basically the same thing. Well, not quite, because okay, so square color scheme is more like colors a bit further apart because you're forming a square, so a bit further apart. So you have blue with red and yellow, orange, and green. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then actually blue violet here. Okay. Blue violet. So now you have your values. So values refer to the relative lightness of darkness. Well, lightness or darkness of a certain area. So, basically, you can have like very dark purple for like an area of the room that's kind of like a bit darker, and then you contrast with a lighter purple, like this. And you can have a bit of lighter, and blend them in like that. And yeah. See? Tint describes a color that's mixed with white. So you get, again, I'm gonna move to like cyan. So you can have like pure cyan, which is right there. So you have your pure cyan, and then you can add, yeah, you increase, but you know, you add a bit of white, add a bit of white again, and you keep adding a bit more white until it's white, you know? And then the same thing, tone is basically color that's described, that's mixed with gray. So you can add a bit of gray. How am I gonna do that? Okay. So you have the cyan, and ever increasingly a bit of gray until it changes, you know, there's a two powder gray. It's not exactly that, but I don't know, it's basically that. That's, you know, that's the gist of it. And then a shade is, you know, you mix black with the powder. So like this. You add progressively more black to it. Like this. Until you go to black. Okay. And now, from monochromatic. So, monochromatic, the term monochrome refers to the use of one color or various shades and tints of one color in a single form. So, since, for example, all these colors are all together on the same part of the color wheel, now, since they're all in the same part of the color wheel, they can go together. They're considered monochromatic. You know? So, same thing for that. This is considered monochromatic. That too, of course. That's the example. And then generic meaning of colors. That's also important for color theory, because here's the thing with color theory is you can use it for a lot of stuff. Hang on, just let me drink a little bit. So, basically, yay! Hope it helps. So another big part of color theory is that depending on what culture you're from, that like color is gonna have different meanings. Like red in Western culture represents passion, love, fire, anger, and blood. Like a culture like Chinese culture, that represents luck. No, it represents good luck. So like for like different meanings of colors, it's gonna have like different meaning depending on where you live, because each culture is different. So first they're gonna have like, you know, different meanings. But I love that the meanings tend to be fairly similar. Color, yeah, spelled with the letter U. Heck. Yeah, whoever made that is clearly not American. They're either Canadian or British or Australian or any other places that tends to use British English for spelling. I use color with a U in it. Yeah, the right way. I mean, there's no wrong or right way. It's just, you know. I mean, it's the right way for us because that's what we're used to. But still sounds the same. That's what matters, really. But yeah, so for color, so for example, in Western culture, red can mean passion, love, fire, anger, blood. So it's not like it's not a common color. It's not a color you're gonna be using in like, hey, welcome Phantoms and not in Xeno TV. We're talking about color theory. But actually, I went a bit too ahead of myself because first things first, you have your cold colors and your warm colors. So like cold colors, you know, they give an impression of calm, create a soothing impression. You know, they remind us of cold water. You know, it's cool. That's what you'd be using for like, you know, calming room. You know. Oh, and also Phantom Zenata. If you want, I can pull out the I can pull out the reference for you that I'm using right now. So, honor, fear, greed, and here you go. So if you want to follow along, you're more than welcome to. But yeah, I'm an Atropa. I mostly do art live streams at the moment. I'm currently working on moving my YouTuber model. And right now, we're working on color theory. No problem. Hope it helps. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And if you want to lurk, that's totally okay. If you just want some background noise as you're working on stuff, that's a-okay. But, yeah, so cold colors are more like calming, you know, soothing for the most part. And then warm colors, you know, they're more vivid, they're more energetic, you know? It's like, it's more kind of like fire and heat. And then, you know, and you can also use that for like warm colors. You can use that to show something that's more like happy. Cold colors too. Depends on how you use them. Or like, you can use warm colors to express anger. Or cold colors to express sadness. See? So, like there's plenty of stuff, really cool stuff you can do with colors. And now, back to the generic meaning of colors. So, red can mean passion, love, fire, anger, blood. See, different types of emotions. And I mean, you know, love, passion, anger can kind of be similar, sort of. Orange can represent energy, happiness, vitality, stimulation. So it's very stimulating color. Yellow, well, obviously represents the sunshine because we see the sun is yellow because of how the color reflects on the atmosphere. Oh, also Phantom, if you want to see the start of the stream more where I started talking about color theory, more like the physics related to it. It's kind of wonky, but it's mostly it. You can rewatch this room from the start later on, and I'll be posting it as a VOD on my YouTube channel if you're interested. If you want to rewatch it later, so just to let you know. But yeah, so green represents new beginnings, happiness. I already said that. Okay, so yellow, sunshine, happiness, hope, and deceit. See, different meanings. Green, well, you know, represents new beginnings, abundance, nature, because it's, you know, it's green. It's very herdy, you know, it's green. See, it's green. Blue, well, represents the sky, It's calm, it's responsible. Sea represents sadness too, and the sea. Violet represents creativity, royalty, wealth, and ambition. But there's a really good reason why it represents royalty and wealth. Is because for the longest time, violet was super hard to produce as a pigment. Before we could mix synthetic pigments, it was super hard to come by because like there's not really anything in nature that's actually really violet. And there was only a few, at least in Europe and in Africa and in the Middle East. And the Middle East, there's parts of Africa and Middle East, but towards more Europe. So anyways, the western part of the world. Violet was super hard to come by because it only came from a certain type of snail. Let me check. So while I take a quick little sip of water, I guess my throat hurts. Better hydrate before I hydrate. I'm gonna look up the snail. Okay. Violet. Okay. So So Tyrion Purple was the first kind of purple pigment that people use, at least in Europe. Started using it in ancient Rome. So basically, it was super hard to come by because to make Tyrion Purple, you had to collect a lot of marine snails. Legit, they were collected by the thousands, and then you had to boil them. So, but to get, it took days. Apparently it smelled terrible, and it's not like the snails themselves that are purple, it's just because through using heat and light, that's how they produce the pigment. But especially by the times of the Middle Ages, they were starting to run out of the specific snails they were using for the pigment. And even in ancient Rome, since it took quite a lot of time to produce a pigment. Well, what happened is that only the rich people and nobles could afford, but only the wealthiest of the wealthiest could afford to buy the purple pigment because it was so expensive and so hard to produce. So, why mostly in the Middle Ages and towards Renaissance era, you had some charity laws, or if you're a noble, you can wear purple. If you're not a noble, or you're not from the clergy, screw you don't get to wear purple because it was so expensive, and they didn't want peasants, quote unquote peasants, the common people, to wear purple because it was super hard to come by the pigment and it was so expensive. And also because they wanted to keep something for themselves and they wanted to distance themselves from us common people. Like it is today. But let's not get into that. But yeah, so that's kind of why violet represents, wealth and royalty. Black represents mystery, elegance, evil, death, and power. Gray, well, it's moody, it's conservative, it's formality. Gray goes well with everything. So, and it's conservative, it's not too black, it's not too white, it's just kind of in the middle. It's kind of moody, the clouds, and it's cloudy outside, it's about to rain, White, well, it's purity, it's cleanliness, virtue, and innocence. While in certain cultures, it represents bad luck. You know, it's like, for example, black cats in a lot of cultures represents bad luck. But in the UK, and I think other places too, black cats represents good luck. You know? It depends on the culture. So each culture is different, and that's totally okay. Because diversity is the spice of life. And if we were all similar, it'd be boring. But yeah. So brown, well, it's nature, it's wholesomeness, dependability. I mean, brown's a nice color. I mean, I don't really wear brown. It's not my favorite color, but you know, it's a herpy color. It's like a herpy tone. It's also considered a neutral color, especially in fashion. For example, jeans. The color jeans is considered a neutral color in fashion design. As an example, tan or beige, conservative, cutie, fall. It's kind of cool colors. They're neutral colors too, so they're gonna go with every other colors too. Cream or ivory, calm, elegant, purity. It's like it's not quite white. It's just still like it. It's kind of more like cream. It's very soft, so it's calm. Well, like stark white is kind of it's a bit hard on the eyes. While you have cream or like ivory, it's a bit, you know, it feels a bit nicer on the eyes, so that's why it's kind of calm. But yeah, so like that's just of color theory. Let me see if I can find more info. Color theory is important. Alright, so next week, I found more color meanings. I'll be posting links so you can follow along in just a tiny bit. Okay. Now we're kind of moving into more like graphic design, sort of. Which I mean is fine. Not a big of a deal. I think like some of these references I know we used in my graphic designs class. But it's just to use like as an example of how color theory can be used. It's really cool. Okay. So first things first. Okay. I'm gonna go back to Nightbot. I'm gonna make a comment called references. Okay. Get a picture of that one. Yeah. Okay. Let me try to get everything. Copy image. I'm going to be posting the references I'm using, so you can follow along. Because you know gotta give credit where credit is due. So that's super important. Because if you're gonna be using someone else's work, it's super important to credit them. So, give me a second, I can't see the chat right now because I'm just trying to get my references in order. And should be almost done. Okay. And then I can post the reference so you can follow along. that's it for now. Okay. So, references. Hey! Welcome back at you. How are you doing? We're currently working on color favorite. So I'm gonna be posting the references I'm using. And if you want to watch the plot, like the today's stream afterwards, so you can see everything I've talked about, you're more than welcome to. And I'll be posting it on my YouTube channel. After the stream. So okay. So so more color meanings. So you can look up the links that I'm providing so you can follow along. I will be posting them on the YouTube channel when I post the VOD as well. So okay. So here's a track by Melder.com. So okay, so for example, color meaning. Going back to it. Purple, it's visionary, it's ambitious, purposeful, authentic. I totally butchered that word, but that's okay. That's totally okay. Spiritual, mystical, majestic, truthful, luxurious. Spiritual, there's plenty of cultures that do see purple as a spiritual color. As well, mystical. I mean, it's a very pretty color. It does have a very mystical vibe to it. Blue, while can represent intelligent, logical, calm, efficient, cool, serene, clear, peaceful, loyal, trusty, reliable, and secure. You know, it's a color you can trust. You know? It's a trustworthy color. You know what you get with blue, you know? Like, you can trust blue with your life. Turquoise is inspirational, innovative. I am totally butchering my words. Let me slow down a bit. Creative, efficient, healing, demanding, calming, sophisticated. Spiritual, like for sophisticated. Well, you have blue, like Tiffany blue. Like from Tiffany's, it's kind of more towards the turquoise, you know? So it's a nice color too. Green, well, it's balanced, harmonious, fresh, it's healing, it's organic, it's earthy, it's abundant, it's restorative. It represents fertility too, because, you know, nature, it's, you know, just life, and something that represents life is fertility. So, you know. Yellow, well, self-confident, optimistic, happy, it's friendly, needy, bright, energetic, warm, creative, promising, sunny. Orange, abundant, positive, confident, successful, playful, sociable, creative, it's passionate, it's energetic too. But like warmer colors tend to be more energetic, while as you can see, the meanings for like the cooler colors tend to be more calm, you know? Like more sophisticated. Red is strong, assertive, warm, it's determined, motivated, it's loving, powerful, dramatic, dynamic, passionate, courageous. Pink. Okay, so for the feminine part though, that's kind of fairly recent though in our culture. It's very recent. It's not actually feminine, but it's just people decided pink was feminine. Oh yeah, yellow orange is a really good combo. They're analogous, so super well together. So it's a good combo. Yellow orange, chef's kiss. Like blue orange or blue pink. But yeah, so It's like the meaning we give. Also, we do give them the meanings to those colors because really, colors are just colors. It's just that's the meanings they have for us. But yeah, so I mean, for the longest time though, pink was a color for guys, or like pink wasn't necessarily a color for girls. Like blue was a color for girls at a certain point. So it also depends on what time period you're in. So meanings for colors are gonna change. But yeah, so pink is feminine, it's compassionate, it's nurturing, tranquil, it's kind, it's romantic, it's intimate, it's naive, it's sweet, it's soft, it's playful, it's intuitive, it's hopeful, it's a nice color. It also depends on what type of pink. If it's a softer pink, yeah, that's kind of the vibe it gives me. If it's like more like a bright pink-ish magenta, it's like, yeah, it's a bit more, it's more like energetic and, it's passionate. And it's in my face. But, no, brown is stable, it's grounded, it's reliable. I mean, it's a neutral color. So, it's more neutral. Friendly, conservative, it's honest, it's aspirational, balanced, organized, confident, it's earthy, it's modest. I mean, it's just, it's a nice balance of different colors. Yeah, I mean, everybody can wear pink. If they want to, of course. Because I know some people don't like pink. I mean, colors are just colors, so if you want to wear pink, and you're not tagging a girl, you don't I forgot the word. But, like, if you're not a girl, you can still wear pink. Whether you're a guy, you're a girl, you're non-binary, Because colors are just colors. They don't care. They're colors. So if you like pink, you like pink. But, no, I mean, we do get, we give the meanings to color, we give to colors the meanings we want to give them. That's the gist of it, so. But yeah, it's like brown. It's kind of it's like a mix of different colors. Let me see. Okay, music is playing. It's just my sound is like super low right now on my computer because I don't want to blast my ears with the sound. So, but yeah, it's like brown is just like, it's a neutral color, so it's gonna be conservative because it's like, that's not too bright. It's just, it's good amount. It's neutral. It can go well with everything. It's, black is classy. It's dramatic. Drama. Yeah, well, I guess it's cultural, I guess. I mean, I guess it's just to fit with the fact it's, like, often rainy, I guess. I don't know. But, I mean, here in Canada, we do use a lot more colors and stuff. So, but, I mean, it also depends on where you live, because, like, depending on where you live, some places, they're gonna, basically, I guess you just dress with the colors that are in your environment, I guess. Because there's cultures where, like, there's plenty of colors and they're, in their environment, so, like, their clothing has a lot of colors, too. But yeah, so black is classy, it's dramatic. I totally butchered the pronunciation, but that's okay. It's safe. It's powerful, it's glamorous. It's serious, it's sophisticated, it's luxurious, dynamic, mysterious, and control. It's black. That's like stable. It's a stable color. It's black. That's a neutral color. It goes well with everything. It's sleek. It's nice. Nice to look at. Doesn't burn my eyes because it doesn't reflect as much light. Gray was glamorous too. I can be conservative as well. It's solid. It's used a lot in tech, like my MacBook Pro. That's great. It's intelligent. It's secure. It's sleek. It's modern. Substance. I'm not sure that word, but okay. Like I'm not sure the context for that, but okay. It's sophisticated again. I mean, it's a neutral color, so like if you want to look sophisticated, go with neutral colors. White is pure, clear, fresh, easy. Not easy on my eyes, but that's just me. Innocent, good, simple, uncompromising, hygienic, illuminating, ethereal, sophisticated, like hygienic, like a lot of like medical stuff is wrapped in white. A lot of medical stuff is white. When you go to the dentist, it's white all over. You go to the doctors, it's mostly white all over. It's gonna have like some kind of blue-green too. Because again, like turquoise also represents healing, color meaning. You know? Okay. Another. Okay. So, I'm not gonna get there just yet, but color psychology and logo design, because color has also, like, as you can see, color has an effect on, you know, the mind. So, like basically how, like, companies are gonna, you know, manipulate you into buying their shit, you know? And I mean also because I went into graphic design and I'm probably gonna be going into marketing and I'm trying to learn how to market myself, so it's super important to learn that stuff too. And if I can help you guys too with your own creative endeavors, then yeah, that's 11 out of 10. We'll do it again. So, yellow. Okay, yellow can have conflicting messages. It's bright and nearly visible. It's often used in logo design to get attention, create happiness and warmth. Like the golden arch. The golden arches. Like, it's yellow, it grabs your attention. You know? And it's like, if there's McDonald's golden arches somewhere in the landscape, you will see it right away. Because they made sure of it, that you see it almost right away. Because they want you to buy their burgers. They want you to buy their food and give them money. Also I skipped white, but see? Yellow grabs the attention and gets white because of it. Even though it's right on top. See? Proves the point. So white is, universal color of peace and purity. You can find it in logos as reverse text or negative space. Which we will be learning at some point. I still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do next week, next Wednesday, but okay. Also on Friday we're gonna be working on comics. Well, I'm gonna be working on comics. You could be working on other stuff. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that sounds like a good combo. Well, it's definitely gonna be grabbing attention. Yeah. Well, it's definitely gonna be grabbing attention though. Be careful, because yellow and orange can be quite a lot, so do try to use them with moderation, because if you use them too much, it's gonna be like too much attention, and it might do the opposite effect of what you intended, especially with orange. Like, for example, white is the universal color of peace and purity. You find it in logos as reverse text or negative space. And I repeated myself. Mostly black. Okay, cool. Okay, it's mostly black with a bit of yellow and orange. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's gonna be, gonna be a good, that sounds like a really good color combo. So cleanliness can represent that. innocence. It can represent, something that's sterile, because there's no colors. Purity, refined simplicity, surrender. Like the fact that you surrender with truthfulness. Okay. And then moving down to orange. So combining red and yellow's attributes, it's often used to draw attention. Find it used in logos to create playfulness, stimulate emotions, or even appetite. Like Nickelodeon represents youthfulness. So it's like some companies, especially if they sell food, like restaurants, they'll try to like use colors to get you to want to eat or want to eat more, so you're more likely to buy more of their stuff. So they're more likely to have more money in their bank accounts, So it's affordable, it's creativity, enthusiasm, fun, jovial, lighthearted, high-spirited, youthful. So like if you want to manipulate your mind into being a bit more joyful, more like, you want to be more high-spirited, you could have like some of those colors, like yellow, orange, just like, especially for orange, don't put it all over the place, because then it gets a bit too much, and then it's like, it does the opposite effect. Then red is an intense color that can summon strong emotions from blood and warfare, love and passion. It's a logo designed to grip the viewer's attention and has been known to raise one's blood pressure or make people hungry. Also, color, also makes you hungry. Because red is like, color like apples. Like it's action, it's aggressive, it's danger, it's energy, that kind of fun stuff. So like the Coca-Cola logo, Or like red is also a color used for the McDonald's logo. So they use yellow and red. Because yellow grabs your attention. Red makes you hungry. And excited. Like the Happy Meals. Man, there's not a lot of food in there, but man, even as an adult, I'm still excited by them. I still want to eat them, but okay. So pink, feminine color that conjures feelings of innocence and delicatness, often used in logos to add a feminine flair. So like the Barbie logo. So it's appreciation, it's delicate, it's femininity, it's floral, it's gentle, it's gratitude, it's romantic, it's soft. So purple, it implies royalty, mystery, spirituality, and sophistication. It's a combination of red and blue. It has both arm and coal properties. Find it a spelling mistake, but I won't hold it against him. Find it in many education-related and luxury products logo. It's like Hallmark. Like it's a luxury product. The cards are expensive, especially the fancier cards. It's regal, it's royalty, it's something that could be used for ceremony. It has a fantasy element to it. Like, it's like for the color meaning, a good example I could use was like the main color in Mysterious Armor Palette, Mysteria being like the main character who was the comic I'm working on. Like the main color in the palette is purple. Is purple, but she's like the hero princess of a kingdom. So she's next in line, like she's a princess. And also she's a fairy, so purple is a fitting color too. And she likes purple. Yeah. Then going to blue. Blue is a calming color that can stir up images of authority and success and security. It can be seen extensively in government, medical, and Fortune 500 company logos. Because, it's trustworthy. It's like it has, it has authority. It's calming, it's serious, it's like huge fat blue. Like, it's not up to any funny businesses. So it's like, so like the IBM logo. Green, well, it represents nature, life, renewal. It is a restful and soothing color, but can also represent jealousy and inexperience. Find it used in companies that want to portray themselves as eco-friendly. So, like Animal Planet, for example. Wait, no, I think the PETA logo is blue. I mean, PETA isn't so family, is so eco-friendly if you ask me, but Greenpeace, eco-friendly. You have BP, British Petroleum trying to, BP, please don't sue me for saying this, but this is, the internet. I am free to say what I want. But BP, British Petroleum, trying to market themselves as being eco-friendly. Not taking into account the many spills they've caused over the years. So, like, petroleum is not very eco-friendly, if you ask me, but, they're trying to market themselves as eco-friendly, Or, vegan safe logo, saying, oh, well, it's vegan, so it's eco-friendly, Yeah, I know, cool. I mean, there's lots of stuff you can do with petroleum, and if you learn how to use it properly, it's not so bad, but the problem is a lot of petrol companies are not careful. Like, again, I won't get into that too much, because the main focus is color theory and color meaning and that kind of stuff. Also, it represents money, so like, for example, a lot of banks will use green. I won't be saying what my bank is, but it's one of those that uses green. Then you have the other banks that use orange or like red. Chinese surfing. Green also means tranquility, so you have a lot of like health and wellness companies that will use green in their logos. So, brown indicates nature, woodiness and utility. It's in use. Logos refer to construction and legal logos due to its simplicity, warmth, and neutrality. So it's a neutral color, so like UPS, So legal logos too are brown. I like that kind of stuff. Gray. Gray is neutral and cool. Gray is often used for the type within logos because it's neutral and works well with other colors. So it's Swarovski. Stable. It's practical. I mean, I don't see what's practical with Swarovski crystals, but so it's like if you want to communicate a language, non-verbally and non-written, color's a good way to go. Okay, so another one. Okay, so see, you have like different meanings for colors. So it's useful too. So Legos, pioneering, Nintendo, energy, exciting, active, bold, power, Lego, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is, you know, youthful too, I guess. Gives you energy, ambition, confidence. I don't know. Virgin. Interest to youthful, I guess. Ambition, you know, the ambition to want to do creative projects. Pink, well, it's, you know, it's like brands like BBC Tree. I don't know much about BBC Tree, so I don't know. Don't remember that logo, but Cosmopolitan, it's mostly for women, so it's feminine. Victoria's Secret too, Barbie as well. Purple, well, it's deep, it's creativity, it's unconventional, it's original stimulation, that kind of stuff, like Cabaret, Yahoo, Zoopla. I'm not sure what that is, and Milka. Navy, trust, order, loyalty, authority, communication. It's often used in a lot of tech companies like Facebook, Tumblr, Gap. You know, I wouldn't trust Facebook because they've shown they're not trustworthy, so they don't deserve to use blue as a color to represent them. But you know, I agree, like, you know, BP, see? There. Holiday Inn, like, it means balance, growth, restore. Body Shop. Positivity, Lacoste. Safety, stable, clarity. Yeah, you are a product. You know? So I guess I can trust them to sell my information to third parties. Because they will. That's for sure. For blue means spirit, perspective, content, control, rescue, determination, self-sufficient, modern, goals. Yeah, can't even, I mean, there are ways to delete your account, but they're trying to make it as hard as possible. Yeah. Like, I kind of used it more when I was younger, but like I never really got into it, so there's not as much personal influence there could be, but you know. But yeah, it's where it goes, where purpose, hope, and ambition. So like you have Internet Explorer, Intel, Redisc, Skype, Twitter, WordPress, you know? Okay, Twitter being open. It's subjective. Okay, so orange means instinct, warmth, gut reaction, optimistic, spontaneity, extrovert, social, new ideas, freedom, impulse, motivation. Or you can see it with Fatal. Orange, MasterCard. I don't know. Bentley. I don't remember the name of that brand. And Nickelodeon. Huh? Then we'll move on to the 10 commandments of color theory. Very important. So, know the color wheel well. Do you know what each color signifies? It's like red, love, energy, intensity. Yellow is joy, intellect, attention. Green is freshness, safety, growth. Blue is stability, trust, serenity. Purple is royalty, wealth, and femininity. So, 2. Match it. Do not overlook the austerity of analog colors. So, like a barber shop. Yeah, I think we've used that, like, that chart, that exact chart when I was in graphic design. Or like wheelchair, cupcake, sandals, television. They're like different colors out there. They're mixed together. Can't match it? Clash it with complementary colors. It's like barber, like red, green. Wheelchair, blue, orange, yellow. Cupcake, it's like pink magenta with like red-ish, and green. Sandals like blue over like satin kind of color. Television is purple and yellow. Is contrast to intense and split it. The split complementary. So you can use a bit of turquoise, a bit of green, and a bit of red. So it's not too much on the other side. A bit of magenta, a bit of navy, a bit of like the magenta again, a bit of red, and a bit of yellow, or like they have different options. Go Triad with 3 different hues. Choose from a greater variety. See, like different. You have different hues. You can play around with them. Sometimes monochrome is the way to go, and then you play with the different values of monochrome, or like one color like this. See, like you can see, you can still have some kind of contrast. Other times, an achromatic game serves best. So achromatic, more specifically, is black, grays, whites. Like this. See, you got a really strong contrast with the cupcake on the background, or like television. Know your use, tints, shades, and tones. What works where? So, like for example, if you're gonna make a logo, for example, you want darker color over lighter color, or lighter color over darker color. So, you know, if you want it to be read more easily, you want to try and have a bit more contrast. It's something I need to work on, definitely. So, see, different contrast. Like, it's all like in the same color scheme, but it's different hues. It's like shades, tones, tints, saturation. And then lastly, RGB, CYMK, and Pantone are not the same. So like for example, Pantone, it's often used in like printing. It's used for fashion design as well. And you can order like a bunch of like paper like Pantone. Let me see. It's like Pantone colors. CYMK is like colors your printer will print. So if you're gonna be printing something, you try to put in CYMK. But if you want it to be more closer to like Pantone, to like what like, let's say you're making a design that like you want to print on paper, and you need to print it, but you have to do it on the computer first. So you're gonna use like, you know, like a software, like digital software that allows you, like for example, like the Adobe Suite. Okay, the Adobe Suite will allow you to work in Pantone as well. So like in design or Illustrator, like if you're gonna be using them to make any printed materials, and you're using the Pantone colors, like you're like, well, you have the Pantone chart, and you're like, oh well, I want that color. Then you're gonna go in the Pantone like thing, the Pantone profile that you have on like Illustrator or like InDesign, and then you know, you just try to match colors. Like you try to get like the right colors for that, so it matches. It's like, so it's like colors your printer will print in. So it's the colors of the ink, like you can see, a lot different. And then the RGB, it's like the colors of the LEDs, the LEDs, and as you can see, there's not much changes between red, blue, and green. There's no changes at all, but it's because like the LEDs are gonna mix the colors together, and then it's gonna give you, like for example, I can have like LEDs like right there in the spot where my background is, or it's just gonna mix and match to make the purple, or mix and match to make the blue, and the parts where it's whiter is because all the colors are mixed together. Like there's green, blue, and red, and more equal like quantity. And then like the parts where it's black is because they're like, yeah, we're not gonna put as much colors there. So like the LEDs where it's red is definitely gonna be red, and it's going to be green there. It's going to be blue there. Like where it's like, you know, it's gonna be blue, green, red, then it's going to be like, yeah, it's like, yeah, there's not as much of the red, the blue, or the green in there, in that part. Meanwhile, in the white part, there, it's like, they're all mixed together at almost equal concentration. See? So, it's color figuring. Let me take a little sip. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, I might try to answer them, or I'll try to find info on Google. So if you have any questions, let me know. That image? Yeah, I think it's actually in the, yeah, okay. It's actually the top link in the latest, like, sets of links I shared. So I can share it again, if you want. Okay, so. References used, and there you go. So, should be like the top link. Okay. Give me a second, I messed up the link. Okay. I need space for the links. Whoops, my bad. Okay, so I'm gonna put some space between the links. That might be why it's not going to be working. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Oh. Give me a second. Give me a second. Gonna fix that. Just because I didn't format it properly, so that's why it looks wonky. Just take me a little second. Note to myself, make sure to always format your stuff properly. When you post links in chat. Okay, that should work. Can I do it? Okay, now it's working properly. There, so it's gonna be easier to find the links that way. No problem. So, I'll be ending the stream in, just about now. My throat's hurting, and I give it a bit of a break, and I think it covered pretty much everything, I think. But, if you have any questions before I end the stream, just let me know. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And, I'm definitely, like, now I started posting the, VODs on YouTube. So I'll be posting that too, and I'll be posting the links to references I use on, I'll be posting them in the description section, so if you want to rewatch it again, I'll be on my YouTube channel. The link to my YouTube channel is in the panel section, so, anyway, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And I'll try to set up my Discord server so, like, you know, people can come in and we'll have a section where, like, you know, we can talk about art and stuff. Like art references, like, you know, art tips, that kind of fun stuff. And on Friday, I'll be working on a comic. So I'll be working on the short comic again. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be doing the Discord server, so it's easier for it's like easier for people, you know, if they need they need to ask questions and that kind of stuff. So I'll be there for that. And yeah, so I'll be working the short comic on so I'll be working on the short comic again on Friday. And on Monday, I might either be working on the VTuber model, or might be working on finishing some of my assets for my Twitch channel. So it's either or. Depending on how far along I've gotten with my model. And I'll be taking the next couple of days to figure out what I'm going to be doing next Wednesday, because I want to try and have like Wednesdays being more like educational. So so I might actually so I'll try to figure it out by Monday. And then I'll let you know on Monday spring. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything else you wanted to say before I end the stream, just let me know. And then I'll try to answer them as best as I can. throat rests for a bit. Because it hurts from talking for about stuff like that. Hey, as long as I help people, that's all that matters to me. Look. Okay, I'll look for those links you shared and get back to you. Okay. Well, you know where to find me on Discord. You can DM me or you can talk to me and see Saya's server, but yeah, you can just DM me too. Yeah. So, but yeah, so, yeah, I feel like that was a productive stream. Something I want to start implementing soon for like the streams is I want to do like stretches before and after I get like the stream started. So like at the start and then at the end of the streams, like we can all do stretches before we get to dry, so we don't get as much injuries on our hands and the rest of our bodies. You know, that kind of fun stuff. So yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm planning to do. And yeah. So, also if you have any suggestions or like topics you'd like, well, art-related topics, of course, that you'd like me to like talk about, just let me know too. And yeah, so I think that'll be it for tonight. Actually, also I need to like make a ending soon. Like, I'll probably make like an animated like release of like just time to the stream to like, you know, roll so like if I can finish speaking with the daily and stuff, you know. Yeah, you know, in certain ways, I want to respect that. So, yeah, so, Molly's probably going to be either continuing to rig the model or working on my overlays. Next Wednesday is going to be like educational stuff again. You know, basics of like art and stuff. So I'm probably just gonna start with like very basic stuff, so like elements and principles of art. So yeah, I'll probably be talking about elements and principles of art. I just wanted to focus on color favor because it's super important. Like it's also super important when you're designing characters. So I might keep talking about that next week as well. So I'll keep talking about that more like towards character design. So I'll certainly figure it out. Oh, also working on Clipsteel Paint, like a Clipsteel Paint Basics tutorial series. Well, right now it's more of an idea than like something I actually started working on, so I have to get to working on it. But I do have a video up on my channel or on my YouTube channel where it's about like using the blending tools in Clipsteel Paint. But I'll have to remake it because I realized that afterwards, like after like comments from some of the people on my YouTube channel, that like some of the brushes move places, some were removed, some are completely different now. So I'll have to remake that and reverse that. So yeah, so this here stream will be posted right after the stream on my YouTube channel as a live. So you'll be able to watch it. I'll just have to make sure to like write the description and stuff. So yeah. I'll probably make like, I'll also try to make like a better in-depth YouTube video on color favoring. And yeah, so I think that'll be it for tonight. I'll be streaming again on Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, schedule is in the on the panels. Yeah, I think I'll be it for tonight. So I bid you all farewell. I hope you enjoy your rest of the day or the night or the afternoon or morning, whatever time of the day it is for you guys. I hope you know. I hope you do well. Yeah, I hope to see you again on Friday. So take care. I love you. Thanks for coming. And I'll see you on Friday. Yeah, see you later. Bye.